Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball. We are back talking ball, baby. Dodgers got beat. That won't happen a lot. There is a lot of good baseball. Trevor Plouffe is here, everyone. Let's talk ball. Chris Bassett. Oof. Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball, presented to you by SeatGeek. I am Jake Stromboli. That is Trevor Goof. Rob Shiracho is producing. And we're back talking ball, people. Like we might have told you on Wednesday, if you didn't hear, we're going back to a series recap. We're going to talk a lot of baseball today. It's what we know. It's what we got. And there's a lot of good ball played. Your Blue Jays are killing it.
Yeah.
Trevor,
Tyler Heineman.
Your Twins are not. The Reds can pitch. They can't hit. Orioles, DBacks. Are you kidding me? How are you doing, Coach?
I'm ready to yuck some ball. There's no doubt about it. We got out of whack on Monday trying some new things. But look, it's like we do a few things well, Jake.
Right.
Okay? We're devilishly handsome.
Yep.
We didn't do anything. That's just genetics, okay? But we also talk ball.
Yeah.
No time limit, no nothing like that. We just do it.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to do today.
That's, I don't want to get you too hot to trot, but we're kind of... What's the Game of Thrones island that they just, like, fight or fuck? That's us.
What?
Yeah, I knew that was going to put you on edge. But that's where I want you today. Let's get into ball talk, Coach. First half of the show, we're going to kind of informative. We're going to tell you what happened in the series, a couple jokes along the way. And then the second half of the show, dive into some players. Going back to our roots, people, comment below what you like, share the episode, and make sure you're tuning in. Because if all you people said you want ball talk, we need you showing it. So let's get into it. Let's do the American League, Bobo. Give me a beat. And we're going to the Commonwealth, Coach, because the Blue Jays took the first three. Jose Barrios, 100th win in the big leagues. And how about Easton Lucas? Wasn't in our TPP. Found him off the scrap heap. He's been shoving. The Red Sox, they won the final game. Bassett and Buehler, man, both those guys are pitching. Sox win. Trevor, story of my life. Walk off out, but the Red Sox will get out of there with the win. Blue Jays, hot start. Mariners, they take 2 out of 3 from the Houston Astros. The game the Astros won, they needed 12 innings to do it. Victor Caratini. Outside of that, Jorge Polanco with the big hit in game 1. And then Randy, the best to ever do it, gets in the mix with the grand slam and the walk-off RBI walk. Seattle needed that first series win. Angels, all they do is win their series. A messy first 2 games. It felt like the Rays should have won the first one. The Angels should have won the second one. Both those games flipped. And then on getaway day, it was buy one, get one homers. Taylor Ward, Joe Adell, and Mike Trout. Remember? I remember. Halos. Trev's going to talk about them a lot today. Tigers take 2 out of 3 from the Yankees. It was cold. They moved the games up from night games to day games because it was so cold. No excuse for my Yanks losing. Credit to the Tigers. Skubal shuts them out in game 2. He does that a lot. Casey Mize, Andy Ibanez in that first game. But Max Fried, the new Yankees ace, the stopper. 7 innings, shut piece, 11 Ks. Oh, I like that. Trev, you got some explaining to do with your Twins, baby. Because the Royals take 3 out of 4. Simeon Woods Richardson. Go check out the breakdown. We're blowing kisses on the field. I don't know what that's all about. Joe Ryan shoved in the Twins win. Everything else was Kansas City, including Jonathan India with a clutch RBI. Bobby Witt Jr. Yeah, maybe Trev's going to mention Ty France, but mention the Royals taking 3 out of 4. Padres and A's, we talked about this a little bit. We're playing ball in Sacto. And hey, an over didn't hit. We got an under in that last game. 2-1 Padres to win the series. Blade misses the diving ball. Man, those young A's, we talked a lot about them in the midweek. They can hit. But the Padres, they win another series. Xander Bogaerts. Imagine if he hits again. Forgot about that. And your Cleveland guard dogs, they sweep the White Sox. We might talk about that a lot this year again. But some of these, Shane Smith has a nice changeup. There you go, White Sox fans. Otherwise, Steven Kwan, 4 hits, 4 RBI. Manzardo smacked that all on the floor. He hits another homer. Cleveland sweeps them. That's what happened in the American League. I'm going to be high and tight.
You be high and tight. I'm actually on Foolish Baseball's Twitter right now.
Oh, God, Trev.
He mentioned some guy that I want to bring up. I don't go there that often. No, I just love Bailey. I got the standings popped. You need them?
Yeah, I do. Big time.
Okay, I'm going to start out east. The Yankees, good for you. Tied with the Blue Jays. I guess technically the Yankees are in first place. 7-5. Blue Jays 8-6. Boston right at 7-7. Tampa Bay 5-7. And Baltimore at 5-8. Got to get it going. Birds, let's go, guys. Come on. In the Central, Detroit 7-5. They lead the division by a half a game over Kansas City, who's 7-6. Cleveland 6-6. My Twins 4-9, and the White Sox are doing White Sox things. 2-10 on the season. It's tough on the South side. And out west, the Rangers 9-4. The Angels, those Halos 8-4, and Houston 5-7. A's 5-8, and Seattle 5-8. We're seeing like a changing of the guard out there. In that division, Jake, and those are the standings in the American League.
Beautiful stuff, Coach Trev.
Sheesh.
Let's head to the first series we started with, Red Sox, Blue Jays. Hey, Baby Jays. Not really the Baby Jays anymore at all.
They're not the Baby Jays.
Bassett, Barrios, and Vladdy's got...
The best player is Tyler Heineman. He's not a baby.
Vladdy's got $500 million in his pocket.
Oh.
Yeah, Coach, I mean, George Springer has been going nuts. He had a 4-hit game, followed that up with a 2-hit game, including a home run. Kevin Gossman has his zip back, 8 shutout. In the game, they win in 11 innings. Really good pitching in that one. What do you want to talk about in this series?
Mostly the Blue Jays, because they were getting the job done. In the first game, I believe, how many hits did they have in that game? It was a lot of hits. Yeah. Most of them just singles, though. I think there was one extra base hit, a double, and the rest were singles. 6 for 13 with runners in scoring position that first game. 4 for 12 in the second game, and that's where Boston, they struggled in those instances in this series. So I mean, that's kind of how it went. It's interesting. I wanted to have Bobby pull up this play. The very first play of this game was Bo Bichette, or the series, was Bo Bichette, and he drives one to like right field, and Wilyer Abreu is going to play it off the wall, and then out of nowhere, Rafaela comes in and makes a catch, like right field.
Yeah,
and I'm like, this is going to be awesome. And then the rest of the defense wasn't great for the Red Sox in that series, but started out really, really good. But yeah, I mean, the Jays, that's kind of what we've seen from them, is just kind of getting the knock. And it's a bunch of different guys doing it. Heineman, like I mentioned, people think it's funny because he's like my buddy and I mentioned it, but like he's like had some really good at bats this year. And like when you're getting production up and down the lineup, that's a good thing. So Jays went in, took care of business, had a chance to sweep in a 4-game set. I believe we're calling that a mop.
Oh,
somebody started that. Who started that? Luckily for the Red Sox, they're able to salvage it. Still very much in on the Red Sox, but the Blue Jays definitely handled their business in this series.
Yeah, I was going to joke in that first game. I was going to call it singles night because all the run scoring by Toronto, pretty much RBI singles.
Finding the hole.
Bobby Stock back in the big leagues for Boston. Twitter personality. And then, I mentioned Easton Lucas briefly off the scrap heap. He's given them 2 scoreless 5+ inning outings. 5 scoreless 5. Yeah, that made sense. That Red Sox defense, they've turned the most double plays. I think they also have the most errors. So they're running some high risk, high reward defense.
They came in, I believe, in the series on a 5-game winning streak, and then the Blue Jays just put a halt to that.
How about it, Jays? let's head to the beautiful Northwest, Trev, where we're both hated. The Seattle Mariners, they needed a series win. Don't shake your head. We deserve it.
They don't hate me. They don't hate me.
You called them dead. I've been kind of calling them dead all offseason. And, man, getting the series wins. It's obviously what we focus on a lot. This was their first series win, and it came down 5-0. Randy hits the grand slam to make it 5-4. Julio gets a big hit. Randy gets the game-winning walk, and Randy can pimp anything with the best of them, from the home run to the walk. He didn't like that, though.
He didn't want to walk.
I know.
It's such a funny thing for players. Like, I want the knock.
Right.
Like, the walk is cool, but, like, what do you do? How do you celebrate that?
He celebrated the walk-off walk maybe better than anyone has. And, yeah, we had Spencer Aggetti got hit with a line drive before the game, breaks his thumb. Some oddities here. What did you see, Coach?
You know, again, this is great for the Mariners because we're starting to see, you know, what we need to see out of them for them to, you know, have the season that they want. That's a lot of words that I really didn't say anything, but we got to get Julio going. He has a big knock. We have to have Randy doing Randy things, and he comes up big. And again, you know, this is on Tuesday they go 1 for 19 with runners in scoring position. I think I'm going to harp on that a lot this year. Like, can you get the job done with runners in scoring position? And it does. There's ebbs and flows to that.
Right.
But as a team, you have to be able to lock in those situations, and you have to be able to put the ball in play. You have to make teams work. You and I have both been going back and forth about the freaking defense in the league right now. Like, I think it's more important than ever putting the ball in play. So again, Seattle, you gotta. We know the pitching is going to be there, but you got to get those guys going. And you know, they got their first series win. Bobby does have the Rafaela play, so for YouTubers, we're going to go back and show you, because I was flabbergasted at like where he ended up, because he did. I thought maybe, hey, you're shaded to the right center. Show it, Bob. He's in center field. Watch this.
Yeah. Let's start a series.
Brady was like, I'm going to play off the wall. What the fuck?
Man, that's
insane.
And I'm saying this as a compliment, but Rafaela, it's the perfect definite. I mean, he's an incredible athlete. Clearly, he got moved around shortstop, center. Like, that's a guy who hasn't played like a ton of center field. That's just an athlete making a play, and he did. So,
like, what's the catch probability on that for a center fielder?
Right, right. That should be in
like,
the right field.
Not for right field.
Insane. High risk, high reward D from those Red Sox. Good for Seattle. Houston. Well, let's see what's going on. Trev, your Angels. I mentioned it on the way through. Playing the Rays in Tampa at Steinbrenner Field. Ball was flying to right center. That both teams using that short porch. How do you like that?
Exposing the Yankees.
Both teams can use it, you know. I think you're talking about your guy Kyron later. Angels fans are loving it, and they should be. I've got Angels fans in my mentions being like, "Oh, Jake's a hater," and it's like, well, we're just gonna bury the past decade. Good, bury it. Go nuts.
What year was it when they got off to a fast start? We're buying into it. Was it 2021 maybe?
Maybe,
yeah. Or was it 2023? I think they also got off to a fast start, and we're like, yeah, let's go Angels, let's go. Let's pump the brakes a little bit. But they have won 4 straight series, and we got, again, what is my formula, Jake, for teams to be good? It's some young guys need to show up and do some things. We're going to talk about that later. But yes, I mean, even I get, like, we're talking about Tampa and it's a launching pad there, but they were putting some really, really nice swings. I don't know if, like, there's a couple, like Trout's homer to right in that last game was kind of, you know, a short porch homer. The rest of them were absolute tank jobs. Like, I'm not giving the credit to the park there. Joe Adell had some really nice swings. I think he had 2 homers in 1 inning, if I'm not mistaken. And then, you got guys like Kyle Hendricks giving you a start, 5 innings pitched, no earned runs. Like, that's amazing. What was his top velo in that game? What do you think? Let's guess, and Bobby can look it up.
I would guess 88.5.
I was going to say 89. So
okay, look at us.
Let's give him a 90. I'm going to give him a 90.
He got that adrenaline pump. I'm
going to give him a 90.
Hey, Halos. There's a little more coming on that later. I guess for the Rays, man, I think they've lost was it 6 of 7? And yeah, I don't know. I've just got a weird thing going on in my head, Trev. When we had Eno on and he talked about, and famously the Cy Young draft where I absolutely boofed it. He was like, the Rays Stadium actually boosts pitcher stuff. There's something to that, we've been tough on Seattle doing the whole, how good are Seattle's pitchers if nobody can hit there? Hey, maybe there's going to be a Rays pitchers thing this year, pitching outside, and they're not going to have that if those games do become hitting games, the Rays are kind of outgunned on that side of the ball, depending how their lineup sorts out this year. So that was the only thing that was running through my head.
Yeah, I'm looking at the starters right now. Rasmussen's had a couple good games. He's pitched 2 to a 0.9. Shane Baz is 2 games to a 1.38. But I'm still in on the Rays, Jake. 5-game losing streak they have right now.
No, their first loss in that series made it a 5-game losing.
Made it a 5-game losing.
They won the
streak,
next. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Speaking of losing, you want to talk about your Twins?
Not a lot going right for the Twins right now. There's no doubt about that. Joe Ryan with the stop, but everything else, it was just, I honestly think it's just better quality baseball being played by the Royals right now. And they're not exactly dominating, but, they're making the plays, they're getting the hits. And the Twins just, they haven't hit with runners in scoring position. No one's really stepped up for them. And that's the problem. Sometimes you just you're going through times and guys need to step up. Bailey Ober throws a nice game, great, but you don't score enough runs. The offense has been basically atrocious, and this is what Ty France, who loves hitting at Coffin Stadium. He's had a good series, but literally nothing has gone right for the Twins at all, and it's very frustrating. I think I might be getting fired from my Twins job because I went on a different show and talked about there's nothing exciting or bringing fans in to the Minnesota Twins right now. The TV situation isn't great. They're not playing good baseball. It's just nothing is right with them. So I guess I should have talked more about Kansas City. Go check out John Boy's breakdown of the Simeon Woods Richardson. I guess it was his antics plus the pitch clock violation and Rocco gets tossed because that was a pretty good one.
Yeah. Jimmy, there's a lot of breakdowns and some get him more excited for others. He was juiced for this one. He loved what was going on. And I love what's going on for Kansas City, man. Jonathan India, you trade for a guy, put him at the top of the lineup in front of Bobby Witt. He had a couple big hits this series. Michael Lorenzen with the good start. Go Kansas City, go.
We do have Kyle Hendricks' fastest pitch, and we both would have lost in the Price is Right because we both went over. It was 87.6.
God, I love that.
I thought I juiced one up for 90, but he did not.
Man, there was a couple starts this week with non-velo guys out there, and it's if you can aim the ball and pitch mix a little bit, there's still a recipe there. God, I'm going to get so old and start talking pitch mixes and guys need to play defense. Wait, how did the Brewers and Guardians win games? Everyone on the field plays defense and they pitch well?
That helps.
We can save that for another time. Again, flowers to the Tigers. I don't have too much to add. Again, very cold. We talked Torkelson and Dingler a little bit last episode, and these Tigers don't die. I know Baseball Today got their clicks off on Devin Williams, but God, he has not looked good.
I just said there might be some Austin Wells stuff with him, setting up too much in the middle of the plate on changeups, and I'll do my thing real quick on the Yankees and Devin Williams. If you go back and watch the games, if he sets up in the middle of plate, it's most likely a changeup, but he did throw some fastballs there. But anytime he set up off the middle of the plate, it was a fastball, 95%.
Yeah.
So that's when the guy's a 2-pitch pitcher and you have kind of that information, it changes things in your favor. For the Tigers, man, I had questions about their rotational depth, and they're answering them. Flaherty's looked really good. Mize has looked really good. Obviously, Skubal's looked really good. And they have some bangers there, too. I don't know. This Tigers team, I think they're growing on me. I was a Kansas City truther. I think I had them in the playoffs and not the Tigers. I had the Twins winning the division. That's tough. We'll see if they can turn it around. But the Tigers, man, they're rapidly growing on me.
They're like a fun team to watch. It's a lot of
I like
young guys.
A lot. I like Carpenter a lot. I mean, Riley Green is everyone's favorite player. He's like my fourth favorite player on that team.
Riley Green and
you know
Kerry
who number
Bonds.
one is?
Jake Rogers. You love a Jake. Yeah. Hey, if you want to be worried about a team's rotational depth, go check out those Yanks. Getting Clark Schmidt back.
How's Matt Vierling doing? I got to get my Matt Vierling heat check real quick.
I think he's hurt.
He hasn't played yet.
Yeah. So that's.
I was wondering why I haven't mentioned him yet.
Trev, these last two again, guys. If we're gonna chew through ball games, we can't rip every series. Guardians, you swept the White Sox. Padres and A's. We talked a lot of A's in the midweek. And the Padres, they get out of there with two wins, and the A's kind of gave them that last one. So
as
if you have any
first under,
Randy
Vasquez, that's why.
Which means it's time to bet the over. Trev, let's get into some National League, and it's brought to you by Best Western. Today's episode is sponsored by Best Western Hotels and Resorts. Life's a trip, so why not make the most of it? And we just did this, and a little double shout out. Robbie Sirocco has our vlog from our Chicago trip coming out. I think it's going to be Sunday. Please check it out. We're going to have a lot more supplemental content on the channel. Craziness. Our flight got canceled. We hit up 2 Best Westerns. One saved us in the middle of the night when we needed to go to the bathroom and get out of the rain. The other one we stayed at outside of Wrigley. Awesome. Highly recommend if you're heading out there, go stay there. Whatever travel brings you, it's not always predictable. You're sure right, Best Western. Just felt that. Wherever you go, there's probably a Best Western there. 4,000 hotels worldwide. If you're ready to get going on your next adventure, it's waiting for you at Best Western. Life's a trip. Make the most of it at bestwestern.com. Let's do some NL. Let's head to the nation's capital, baby. Because the Dodgers got beat. Back-to-back games to win the series for the Nationals. James Wood. If it's all coming together like this, watch out. The big fella with 3 homers in the first 2 games. That'll help. What do you call young Wood? That's the Nationals outfield. I don't know. There's probably a joke there. Dodgers save the series at the end. Edmund Hernandez. Dude, Teoscar is driving in runs at an insane rate. Hey, go Nats, go. Good for the baby Nats. The Reds, they take 2 out of 3 from the Giants. 2-0, 1-0. Hunter Green and Lodolo. Yo, these Reds can throw the ball. The problem is they're not hitting the ball. What's that about? You wouldn't have had that coming into the season. Giants trailed 5-0 in that final game. They scrap back into it. Yastrzemski into the drink, babe. That's baseball. San Francisco, they're heading to the Bronx. The Braves take 2 out of 3 from the Phillies. This series we'd hope has more juice later in the year if the Braves figure it out. And maybe they did by winning their first series and in dramatic fashion. Rain delay. Everyone clears out. A serious rain delay. Scary. Marcel the Bear sends one into the seats to walk him off. Phillies won. Trey Turner. Dramatic home run to help them win that second game. Braves win a divisional series. D-backs, after dropping the first game to the Orioles where Zach Eflin, Gunnar, and O'Hearn dropping on them, D-backs come back, including shutting them out in that last game. 9-0. Drop it like it's fought. Perdomo hits a homer after me talking for days about how he has no power. Corbin Carroll is getting on base in every game. Mark that down as important. Diamondbacks take 2 out of 3. Pirates Cardinals. Did you watch? I did watch a little bit. Paul Skenes, I think you guys know him as Skeens. He gets knocked around in that second game. You won't hear that a lot this year. Pirates Cardinals. Did you watch to the 13th inning for that getaway day game? Joey Bart did. Walk-off RBI single. Tommy Pham's fingerprints are all over this. You know I love that. Beautiful stadium. Kind of a tough watch. Mets take 2 out of 3 from the Marlins, and that's obvious. Senga, Ghost Fork, 5 innings shut piece. Pete Alonso, 4 RBI day. I think Trev's going to be keeping some receipts on that one. But how about the M&M boys for Miami to win that final game? Max Meyer, 6.1 shutout. Matt Mervis, homer, 3 RBIs. We love it. Trev, sneaky, one of my favorite series this weekend. Rangers, Cubbies. Red, white, and blue all over the field. Hell yeah. America. Evaldi and the Cubs. Steele and the Cubs. Shut out Texas and Evaldi. 7-0 in that first game. A fun one. That Cubs offense, when they go, man, it's everyone in the lineup. They put up a 10 spot to win that second game and the series. Rangers, Tyler Mahle, another good one. Corey Seager, casual 2 homers, easy power. And then your final series, the Brewers. They took 2 out of 3 from the Rockies. Brewers put up a 17-piece in that second game. But these Rockies don't die easy. Brent Doyle, big game Doyle. Feltner scrapping, getting in out of trouble. I should be highlighting William Contreras and Chirrillo, who went nuts in these first couple days. Your guy Yelly, Trev, I think 465 to center.
It was a bomb.
Course helps sometimes. That's what happened in the National League.
That thing was loud too. Okay, don't talk about Yelly like that. All right. I have the standings, Pop. If you want them,
need them.
We'll start out east. The Mets and the Phillies tied at the top of the division, 8-4 apiece. Miami sitting at 6-6. The Nationals 5-7, and the Braves, after getting their first series win, 3-9. They're clawing back. What did they start off? Did they start off
0-7?
0-7, then they got their win. Okay. Sheesh. In the Central, the Cubs 9-6, a game above Milwaukee, who is 7-6. Cardinals 5-7. The Reds 5-8, and Pittsburgh also 5-8. And then out west, best division in baseball right now, the Padres sitting on top 10-3. Giants at 9-3. Dodgers at 10-4. Our snakes, there are snakes now, Jake. 7-6, and the Rockies down there at the bottom, 3-9. And yes, that bet did cash that we said Dodgers first to 10. They paid out both. So if you had the Dodgers or the Padres, you got paid out. People are questioning that on our IG right now, but DraftKings put it out there. What are we supposed to do?
We just try to give the people information.
That's it. It's Pete Alonso.
This piece of information happened to give people money. Padre fans, little brother syndrome was kicking in a little bit. We did get to 10 wins first. That's in the DraftKings world. That's none of my business. What is my business? Trev, I'd say we're not going to be able to say this a lot this year. It's baseball. It's a long season, but the super team of the Dodgers, they show their first, I don't want to say dent in the armor, but like the Nationals took 2 games from them. And we started wondering what that was going to look like when the Dodgers do lose games. And Mackenzie Gore being maybe one of the breakout stars this year, along with James Wood, could be a big factor.
Yeah, Mackenzie Gore, absolutely filthy when he's on. The Dodgers went 2-4 on the road trip. They lost to Philly, then they lost to the Nationals, and for the Nationals, I'm gonna talk a little bit more about them later. But something on the Dodgers, 14 games, they've trailed in 12 of 14 games. So like we always think they're inevitable. And the reason we think that is because they have been. They've trailed in 12 of 14, and they're 10-4. So that's just insane to me. But yeah, the Nats get the job done. Huge. James Wood, I'm going to talk about him later. He looks locked in, and he's the guy that I'm circling for that you have to have a breakout from if you want to shock the world if you're the Nats. And he's definitely been able to do that. Up and down the lineup, they got the job done against the Dodgers. Really nice to see.
Brad Lord, 3 scoreless in his first major league start. Sure, kid. And yeah, hey, Kyle Finnegan, Cajones, I think they say, 5-out safe to get it started. That's against those Dodgers. That's something special. Trev, this is my dirty little secret series. The Reds and the Giants.
Yeah, this is good.
In my core, I love both these teams, and man, it came out Hunter Green, Logan Webb. It doesn't get better than that. Grindy baseball on both sides that ends with some fireworks.
Reds had a chance to sweep this, man. There's huge pitching performances. Hunter Green almost with the complete game in game 1. Lodolo matches that. The following day was 6 shutty, but in that last game they were up 5-0 or 5-1 before the bullpen blew it. They got it up. The Reds got up real early in that last game, and then after the 3rd inning, I think they only had 1 base runner or 1 hit. So the Giants bullpen does a job, and they're able to come back right there. And then you see like Yastrzemski hitting a ball into the cove to win the game. That's just Giants ball,
right
there. So good for the Giants to stave off the sweep, but the Reds, you're right. It's been all pitching for them, not a lot of offense.
Yeah.
We mentioned that Elly went back to the traditional bat. Maybe the torpedo bat comes and makes an appearance every once in a while. But the Reds offense needs to get it going. I mean, we have some stats here right now on the sheet. The Reds rotation, 1st in WHIP, 2nd in opponent's average, 3rd in innings pitched, 4th in ERA. The Reds lineup, 25th in slug, 26th in OPS, 26th in average, and 30th in OBP. Terry Francona, let's go. What's he doing, baby? Get in the cage with them boys.
I got a tweet last night. When does Terry's seat get hot? Never. If he eats some spicy wings, that's about it. Giants only 3 losses on the season. They're 9-3. I like both of these teams. That I hope both of them build off of it. Although San Francisco coming out east to face my Yankees. And dude, it's another stat. Hunter Green slider. 0 batting average against.
He looks absolutely locked in, man. It's funny because early in his career you saw it, but the fastball he threw hard, but the fastball would just get absolutely dominated. Yeah. Like people would absolutely smash that thing, and it's changed now. It's some adjustments, figured it out.
Absolutely smash that thing. Braves, Phillies. 2 teams we're probably talking about a lot this year. Sean Murphy's back, and he comes back in a big way. Homers. Again, sometimes it comes down to injuries and the Jimmies and the Joes on the field. Him being back for the Braves is a good one. He also gets a sac fly later that they win that first game. Trey Turner, I'll tell you what, him catching that ball and it was such a Trey Turner swing. It's like picturesque when we think about him. That's what you're going to see. But, man, the Braves, it's early, and the Astros started off bad last year. They needed that win in a rain delay, and it just feels like things are going wrong. To beat the Phillies, get that win.
Are we marking that day down, this day down in history for the season? April 10th?
No.
For the Braves?
I'm not.
To turn the season around? No, I think so.
Okay, mark it down.
That's a turnaround type game. You're at home, 2+ hour rain delay. Luzardo's shoving against you. Rain comes. You're able to come back and win that game in 11 to beat the teams that are in front of you, your rival in the division. Like, I think this game can absolutely springboard them to get out of the 3-9, to get out of the funk. Cunha, where you at? Like, we need you pop.
Yeah.
I think Strider will pitch this weekend, so he's going to be back in the rotation. But you get this game, a snatch 'em game, which you call it, and to win the series. I'm telling you, man, this is it.
Spencer Strider, 13 Ks in his rehab start.
Gwinnett, the best Hooters in the country is in Gwinnett.
Have a
Spencer Strider too.
Okay. D-backs. 2 out of 3 from the Orioles. We had a crazy play in this game. I know Rob has this queued up. Jackson Holiday sac fly, but Tyler O'Neill gets doubled up on the play. There's a little bit of confusion on it. Here's the play. You see it down left field, sliding catch, turn and fire. To no one in particular. And then, we've got a little bit. Let's see.
He just never tagged up. He just never went back.
Right. I mean,
I'm not sure why.
This throw by Lourdes is all time for me.
Do you think Tyler O'Neill's like, no one saw that?
Yeah, just play it cool.
Saw that.
Everyone's district.
I guess he thought he dropped it, right? Like he thought it bounced in front of him.
Yes.
Also, the umpire at third never signaled.
Never said catch.
There was a catch. So he's just like, I don't know what to do.
That's happened before, and like, yeah, you can say that as a baseball player, like, oh, you didn't signal anything. It's like, well, he's looking at other stuff too. You kind of have to like watch the ball yourself and make your judgment. It is tough when they don't make the call. And then Holiday was at second base, so he's like, "Did I get a double? What's going on here?" It was that was a weird play.
It's always a fun moment in a baseball
game. But that's
game.
honestly like a microcosm of the series. I felt like the Snakes just played like really good baseball, and the Orioles have been flat. They just, I don't know, man. When you watch them right now, you can talk about the rotational struggles and the fact they didn't. There's a bunch of guys on the IL, obviously, but they didn't really bring in a ton of reinforcements until they signed Gibby, and he's working his way back. But it looks identityless. That's the hot take. That's like, talking head thing to say. But when you watch it, just there wasn't a lot of life, man. And when you play against the Snakes, maybe it's emphasized because I feel like they do have an identity and they do have a ton of life. Like I mean, obviously Corbin Carroll playing the way he's playing, helps a lot. But Naylor, man, I just feel like was such a good signing for them. He's just going to drive in runs all day long. But you watch the series, and that's what it was to me. It felt like the Snakes were just a fundamentally better baseball team.
Yeah, the only half counter I have to that is the Orioles have only had one home series. They're 1-2 at home. 4-6 on the road. So like I think that's, when you get deeper into the season, that starts to balance out pretty quickly. But like the Padres right now, 7-0 at home, 3-3 on the road. So I'm not
saying it can't happen because
yes.
this is a young club, and I think they can be a lot of fun. When I was watching them early in this week, it just that's what it seemed like to me.
Yeah, it's again, this stuff balances out. The Dodgers 6-0 at home, 4-4 on the road. Phillies and Mets 5-1 at home, 3-3 on the road. So like, let's get Baltimore home. Let's get a little Boogs barbecue in them.
And what else is out there in Baltimore?
Crab cakes. Crab cakes.
Crab cakes are delicious.
Yeah.
Where did I used to eat in Baltimore? There's like a breakfast place everyone will go to.
Okay.
Nice, Trev. Great.
Yeah.
Great job for the show.
Everyone write that down for your Baltimore visit.
So there's a breakfast place somewhere there.
Coming up. Trev, I was kind of rude to this Pittsburgh Cardinals series on the way through. Fetty had a no-hitter going through 6 clean. They ended up losing that game. If you have anything you'd like to add about St. Louis catcher Yohel Pozo?
No, I don't. Joey Bart, big boy.
Yeah.
We saw that collision.
Dude, crazy.
And it's funny. I don't know if you have that video up, Rob. Maybe you can get it quickly. But yeah, Andy Gonzalez comes in, runs into Bart. Brian Hayes makes the play because he's just standing there. And like I was talking to Chris Rose about this. I'm like, when you're a baseball player, it's like or a football player for that instance, you're like a dog. You see the ball, you go get the ball.
Right.
That's all he did. He saw the ball, and then whoever was running at third base had no lane to come home because there's 2 massive bodies in his running lane. Had to go around. Great play by heads up play by Key Bryan, but I don't have much on this series, if we're being honest.
Yeah. Marlins Mets. I hate to put it in a similar note a little bit. I mentioned, what Alonso's doing is him, Teoscar, Judgy are some silly RBI totals to start the season. And yeah, I like seeing Max Meyer, your Minnesota boy, shoving in that last game, but Mets win a series.
Mets pitching, again, just getting the job done, dude. When are we going to stop questioning at the beginning of the season? Let's see that Bart collision.
Oh,
we got it up right now.
It's a real one, man. If you're not a baseball...
Lucky it wasn't the other way around. Bart running in from first base, running into Andy Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Pop fly. Nobody wants it. I actually do think it's Key Brian Hayes' ball right there. You got to come make that play. If you can rewind it a little bit right here.
Oh, he makes the play, Trev.
In a roundabout way, he does make the play. Like, go get that ball. Then he sees the ball like, oh, there it is. And then there's nowhere to run. Where are you going to run?
Yeah. Wait, what should the base runner do there? Should it trip over them?
The smart play would just go make contact with whoever, Bart or Gonzalez. If you go make contact, it's an obstruction, I would assume, and then you would get home plate.
And why don't you give the pitcher a little credit for pointing at the ball in the air? Guys, it's right there.
Just get out of here, bro. Go away.
Trev, by the way, put that in my Endy's came up as a catcher, so he's playing first base. So that's like, it's our defense thing that we're starting to feel old about, but it's very dangerous. I'm glad Bart's okay.
Fair take.
Yeah, and I think like teams like the Brewers are laughing that everyone else is figuring out, yeah, if you play the defensive positions well, you got a chance. Trev, last one I really want to talk about. Brewers, you knocked around the Rockies. Happy for you. Cubs, Rangers, man. I mentioned the red, white, and blue. I saw that, light you up with a little bit of blood. Dude, these teams are talented. They can play every form of baseball. You want to bang on a given day and race to 10? Both these teams can do that. You want to have a dude who shoves, whether that's Justin Steele, Tyler Mahle. Like, I guess I've had my Rangers love. Cubs I've needed to warm up to, and I'm there. Both these teams are real.
Yeah, no, I think both these teams, veteran presence, they have some young guys doing their thing. The pitching, like Mahle, I'm very happy for him. Has TJ in 2023, has barely thrown over the last 2 years. He's off to a really, really fast start. So I'm happy that he's doing that. The Twins traded for him and, it didn't work out. So a lot of people I hear a lot of frustration when I hear his name, but to me, him getting off to the start makes me happy. Right. Going through that, 2 years of rehab and then coming back and finding yourself on the Rangers. He's actually made some pretty nice coin for himself as well. But I agree. I think both these teams, I have them both in the playoffs, and I think they can beat you in a bunch of different ways. You're totally right about that. Defensively, offensively, they can get the job done pitching. It's a good series.
Indeed, it was, Trev. And today's episode is sponsored by Indeed. Just realized your business needs to hire someone yesterday. You can find amazing candidates fast. It's easy. Just use Indeed. When it comes to hiring, Indeed is all you need. Okay. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. Indeed sponsored jobs help you stand out and hire fast. When you post with Indeed, sponsored jobs goes to the top of the page for relevant candidates. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. There's no need to wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. Talkin' Baseball listeners will get $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/talkin'. That's Indeed.com/talkin' right now. Support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/talkin'. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring, Indeed is all you need. I'm going to see if they like the singing. I doubt it. Trev, I want to hear your standout performance.
Standout performance. I am going, I talked about this earlier. I'm going with James Wood. On Tuesday, he goes 3 for 4 with 2 homers, 5 runs driven in. And his swing just looks so locked in. Big boy, 6'7" there. The ability for him to stay through the baseball is kind of off the charts. We talk about him, but maybe it's the Nationals thing and them, not necessarily being super competitive over the last couple of years. I think that's a nice way to put it. Sometimes players get lost in the fold, but go watch this guy play. I talked a little bit about his defense, and I asked Nationals fans, what's the deal with that? Because he can run like the wind. He's a big boy. Like, he should be able to cover some ground out there. And he switched over to left field, so a lot of Nationals fans say it just seems like he's feeling that out, different, like a different view, and they think he can get better, and I think he can too. But to me, it's the swing, the way he's able to create that leverage because he's 6'7", but the ability to stay through the ball, drive it the other way, is just something that not every person has, and very few people in the big leagues do have power like that to both sides. So James Wood, man, like, I know we mentioned him. Go watch the Nationals play, because they do have some young guys that are a lot of fun, but he needs to be like mentioned with some of the other guys, like, maybe not. I mean, maybe like an Elly, like some of these young guys who are just super toolsy that like, I think he could turn in and have like an MVP 10 season this year. Yeah.
It's Trev, it's baseball, unfortunately, that I don't want to. I think his guy's getting mentioned in a little bit too, but like Dylan Cruz, another like super prospect. Dylan Cruz having a real rough start to this season. 299 OPS. Like he's he's in it in a bad baseball way that, yeah, with James Wood having this start, it starts to verify last year a little more.
He's 22 years old.
Right? You're right. If he does this for 2 months, he starts entering the realm of like, some humans are different.
Yeah.
And he's 6'7" and can move like that. Like, if he ran into the right football coaches growing up, I think this guy's playing left tackle for the Commanders.
I can never tell, like 6'7", 234 sounds massive, but he kind of looks skinny. I don't know.
Like, he just feels like an athlete. Like, how there's, and again, maybe he wouldn't play O-line. Maybe he'd be a tight end at the same size and be amazing. But there's some O-linemen and you look at them and you're like, oh, that's a big boy O-lineman. And then you see some of them and you're like, oh, dude, that guy, he's like built that way. I think we could put some mass on James Wood and he'd still feel natural. Nationals fans, you don't have to worry about that. I'm glad we've got him in baseball because he's got a chance to be freak. 2nd round pick in 21. What was everyone else doing?
99th percentile in hard hit percentage, 96th in barrel percentage. His bat speed is off the charts. Like he looks kind of like a young player, except he's walking, which is great. The K percentage is high, but that all the fact that he is getting his walks in as well. Those are the adjustments young guys make. I say it all the time. If you can just figure that aspect of the game out, make better swing decisions, get the ball in the zone more often, with his tools, I'm telling you, this guy. And people have said it before. It's nothing new, but I'm just saying, if you haven't watched him, go watch him.
Trev, I'm gonna go to the best to ever do it. Randy Arozarena, a celebrity on this show for a long time. He's one of the most fun guys in baseball to watch when he's right. That grand slam, man, that saved a series, that saved a game, and he. I mentioned he enjoyed his walk, the walk-off walk he had later. Dude, I guess sometimes I check in on getting older. I'm 35.
It's young.
Sometimes I see stuff on Instagram that I'm wondering if I should be following or not following, and then I unfollow it the next day. For this, Randy, he was a big piece they went out and got, and we have his playoff performance in our head that the regular season numbers have never been crazy. They've always been very solid, like a career 122 OPS plus. All this talk about hitting in Seattle coming into the season. It's funny, him and Julio, I think Edgar Martinez was talking about how to contact hit better. Like he had some of the recipe for that. Right now, Randy and Julio are just swinging for big flies only.
Yeah.
So the OPSs are there while the batting average is not. So let's see how that plays out throughout. But man, he saved a series. He saved a game. And the whole old guy thing I talked about a second ago. I think every player should have a signature rounding third home run celebration. Like, why not?
Don't they all? Everyone does now.
No, not everyone does. A couple of the cool dudes, dude. And Randy's is pretty badass. I mean, he comes full stop. And throws it up. That every little kid in Seattle that's learning the game of baseball and loving the game of baseball, when they hit that wiffle ball home run off their buddy, they should be doing that around third base. And
what would you do? Somersault?
No, I mean a bad somersault would actually be hilarious. So maybe, I might do I did it in floorball a little bit. Maybe the dog that pretends to pee on third base. Likes to lift the leg around in third. Uncle Rob would not like that.
No, I think I would do the old school, like we're in the Roman Empire, or maybe you're in like Lord of the Rings handshake where you go.
That's good. Yeah.
You grab the forearms.
Yeah.
I think maybe I would do that.
That's really good.
I don't know why.
I can't believe I blanked.
I talked about the Mariners a little bit. Offensively, obviously still lacking for the most part.
Yeah.
But the one thing you talk about, Randy and Julio and their batting average, both sub 200, 191 for Randy, 184 for Julio, but they are taking their walks too.
Yes.
So, hitting for a little bit of power, but the walks are kind of what you like. They're going to get hits. And this, to be honest with you, and Mariners fans brought this up to me, like, 184, 322, 429 is excellent for Julio to begin the season.
For April,
he's crushing it compared to seasons past. But they still need more, man. They need more guys like Jorge Polanco making those adjustments, getting big hits. I want to see the Seattle team do well. I have them. I don't know if I have them win the division. I had them in the playoffs. I had them and the Rangers in the playoffs. I had, Houston out. But right now it's kind of seems like more of the same for the most part for those Mariners.
I think Julio had an 0 for 15 at one point. So yeah, watching Randy play ball. It's a good reminder of the fun it's supposed to be. Every now and then that at bat from last year pops up on my feed where he steps out of the box, he takes 3 balls, and then the 3-0 pitch he just hammers. Which, if you're a pitcher, I don't know what you do. That's one of the 2 times it's like, well, you got me, dude. Trev, I know this gets you going more than anything in the world. One of our favorite segments. It's back. We're doing it every Monday and Friday. F it.
Dirt nasties on Fuego. That means I'm on fire, baby. Like Waco.
And Fuego is brought to you by Corona, the official cerveza of Talkin Baseball. Trev, tell him.
For the series, we already talked about James Wood. He had 3 homers, 7 runs driven in the series. He was 4 for 10. Brenton Doyle out there in Colorado went 5 for 12 with 2 homers and 7 runs driven in as well. Add a stolen base on top of that. Our guy, Josh Naylor, he's out on an Old Town all the time out there in Scottsdale. I don't know that for sure, but I like to envision him just partying all night. He's like my new Jason Giambi. That's what I want for you.
Okay.
Don't know if that's exactly what's happening. Him and his brother meet up with the Tucker brothers. I don't know. A lot of weird things can go on. 6 for 11, though. 2 doubles, a homer, 5 runs driven in the series against Baltimore. Joey Bart, 5 for 11. Career, what am I trying to say? Renaissance. No.
Oh, yeah. That works.
He's doing a lot better since he's been with the Pirates.
Yeah, you nailed it.
5 for 11 in the series. A double, a triple, a homer, 4 runs driven in. He's a big, big boy, man. Okay. For the week, Corbin Carroll, we mentioned him getting it going 11 for 28, 2 doubles, a triple, and 4 home runs. His 1.1, 6.4 OPS leads all qualified hitters in the National League. He's also leading all of Major League Baseball in both F4 and B-WAR. Pick your favorite, whatever fits your narrative. That's what Foolish Bailey says. Brendan Donovan, 13 for 23. Let's go, Brendan. Yeah. Love that for you. 3 doubles, a homer, 7 runs driven in. I'm going to talk more about Kyron Paris in a little bit. Trent Grisham, your Yank, 9 for 24, a double and 3 home runs and 9 runs driven in. And how about Josh Hader feeling it out there in Houston? He had 3 games during the week, 5 innings pitched, no hits, no walks, 8 Ks. That's no base runners, Jake.
That's good. That's good.
And that's who's in Fuego. We have some other guys that we're going to mention here, like George Springer's having a heck of a start. He went 4 for 4 on Monday. We mentioned who am I thinking about right now?
Who are you thinking about? Me?
We mentioned somebody on the Guardians going off.
Stephen Kwan?
Well, Stephen Kwan is the guy I'm talking about. He went 4 for 5 on Thursday with a homer and 4 runs driven in. He has the most narrow batting stance, or one of the most narrow batting stances in the big leagues. How about that? And then some pitchers, some extra guys who shoved. Hunter Green, 8 2/3. He's thrown 87 fastballs this year at 100 miles an hour or faster. That's the most in baseball. The next guy up is Jose Alvarado with 58, Jake. Justin Steele, 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, 0 earned runs. He's thrown 76% fastballs on the first pitch of an AB. It's the most in the National League. I don't know. Maybe go up swinging against him.
I love it. Come and get it.
Strike 1. What would you do?
I take.
Lay one down. You got to lay one down. Get in a fastball.
Taken. I can't run anymore.
You mentioned Easton Lucas, 5 and a third innings pitched, 0 earned runs, 8 Ks, 1 walk. He's allowed an OPS, Jake, of just 298 this season. I'll repeat that. The OPS against 298. It's the best in Major League Baseball among 155 starting pitchers with at least 4 innings pitched. So the guardrails are off, man. That's okay, Easton Lucas.
Yeah.
Do your thing. And then my guy, Max Fried, 7 innings pitched, 11 Ks. He's not walked any of the 54 batters he's faced against right-handers this season. How about that stat?
Oh. Okay.
What's up with that? Sometimes it does feel like that. Like I remember pitching back in the day. Lefty came up. Ain't no way I'm walking you. I get the whole plate to work with. I can let it loose. I don't know what I'm talking about right now. Gossman had a great start. Keller had a great start. And basically, that's who's in Fuego and some people that shoved or who's raking.
I love it. Yeah, the only other couple guys, Schwellenbach has been incredible to start this season. 20 innings pitched, a 0.45. How about this? This is Jake's new segment, pitchers with 0 ERAs and over 15 innings pitched. Schwellenbach, my guy, Nick Lodolo, Chris Bassett, the Bassett Hound, is back at it this year. I love it.
Contract year.
Whoops. Don't let him get paid again. Don't get on your Charlie Morton shit.
I got my segment because you guys think I'm afraid of this. I'll talk about some guys who are struggling.
Oh.
Not exactly slump watch.
Really?
But I'm going to talk about some guys. I think it's important. We highlight the guys that are doing well. Okay. Anthony Santander.
Yeah.
10 for 54 on the season, a 185 batting average. He's chased a lot, Jake. 60% of pitches out of the zone with 2 strikes this season. He's chased on. That's highest in all of baseball. Wilson Contreras, first baseman, as the Cardinals fans like to point out to us. 5 for 49 on the year. 102 is the average. Only 2 doubles and 3 runs driven in. He has a 41% K percentage versus righties this season. That's also highest amongst qualified hitters. Marcus Semien, 6 for 49 on the season. Mark Vientos, my swag king, 5 for 42. And you mentioned Dylan Cruz on the Nats. Yeah, I think he's going to be fine eventually, but so far the big league career has not been what he's wanted. And this season, 5 for 39 for a 128 average, a 299 OPS. He's got a 48% whiff rate and 2 strike counts this season. That's the worst in the National League.
Trev, we're doing pretty good on time. I want to ask you a couple things about these guys who are struggling. I'd never say slump watch. Semien, slugging 0 on non-fastballs. What do you do? Like, what is your move? Is that you curveball machine? Is it as simple as that, or what do you do?
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of things guys will do. They either get in on the foam. I think there's 2 things. When you're struggling, like in between pitches, I think you got to go like surplus velocity. So you'd get in the cage and face the foam balls throwing, 100 miles an hour. And so you just slow everything down. You have to eliminate excess movement. I think you would do that. And then I do think to contrast that, doing some curveball BP, whether that's off the machine or that's from a BP pitcher, same type of thing. You're just really trying to eliminate the excess movement because you have to be on time for the fastball, but able to make adjustments. And you can't make those adjustments the right way if you're not on time, if you have the excess movement. So, I mean, there's a bunch of things he can do. It's just, we could chalk it up to baseball. If Marcus Semien gets a pass,
sure,
he'll figure it out.
Sure, I'm just genuinely interested because the other one I do want to ask you, Vientos hitless against outside pitches. Like, that's
mechanical.
Okay.
I could dive into that one a little bit more, but I guarantee it's just quick on the hip, little shoulder thing. Because, if you've stepped in a box, which a lot of people who are listening to the show have stepped in a box before, if that front hip goes, that front shoulder goes, the outside part of the plate looks like it's a mile away. So, if you're, and we talk about this all the time as old heads, we've turned into old heads, you have to have that ability to go the other way. You have to have that thought in your mind because if you are thinking pull, that's when you get super exposed on everything away, sliders away, fastballs away, everything will, if you're sped up like that, you can't cover the outside part of the plate. So when guys are locked in, they'll tell you this, all they're thinking about doing is, big part of the field, things. When guys say it looks really slow at the plate, like it's because that they're seeing the ball earlier, they're letting it travel a little bit more, and that a couple hundredths of a second that you're letting yourself see it further in. That's all the difference in the world. We're actually going to talk about that a little bit with my award.
Yeah, thanks, Coach. I never made the adjustment. I just did my thing up there. Right there. You're pulling out. Ooh.
Stepping in the bucket.
The good thing about the recaps being back, and again, thank you guys. Make sure you comment below what you want more of, what you want less of. Haven't seen a lot of comments saying, give me the IL updates, Jake, but here we are in the year 2025. of our Lord. Ivan Herrera, 3-homer eye.
Oh, my gosh. I'm looking at this list.
It's a big one because we had to catch up a little bit. The Victor Robles injury for Seattle, again, another diving into the net. He's going to be out for a while. That's tough. Arrighetti, I mentioned on the way through. In the outfield, gets hit in the hand. Your guy, Johnny DeLuca, New Year's Johnny, send him a text, Trev. Check up on your guy. Manny Margot, Matt McClain, man, I hate Matt McClain and Jackson Merrill being back-to-back. I really hate that. Jake Rogers for Detroit goes on the IL. Watch out for your gig, Pop. Dylan Dingler. Barely know her. Connor Wong for the Sox. Benny goes on the IL for the White Sox. I wonder if he gets any deadline low. We'll see. Ryan Bliss out for a long time for Seattle. Out of the park, Mark Canha. Zach
When did
Eflin.
he get hurt? I saw him crash into the wall against the Twins. It was not great. Didn't look good. I wonder if that was how he got put on the IL.
That's another guy wrestling Father Time with us. Justin Steele, after that great start for the Cubbies, goes on the IL. Yohan Moncada, who I showed a couple glimmers, and I still dream upon him sometimes. Young Wyatt Langford for Texas. That hurts. And, man, this was one of my toughest ones. If anyone saw it live, Mike Talkman trying to score around third to tie the game. And he just comes up lame, and he's literally a lame duck. Felt bad for my guy there.
You're scoring.
It was gonna be close. The
throw was way offline.
Yeah.
Scoring. Clase got bailed out right there.
What if I told you there's good news from the IL? Ian Hamilton back for the Yanks. Get some depth in that pen. Thick neck. Josh Young back for the Texas Rangers. Let's go, kid. Nick Mears for your Milwaukee Brewers. So, okay, would love more there. I guess you need guys to go on the IL to come off the IL. Yogi Berra. Trev, let's start everyone's weekend. Oh! Awards are brought to you by the DraftKings Sportsbook. Weather is warming up. Get in on the action. Head to the ballpark. Cheer for the home team. Get a little skin in the game with DraftKings. Right now, all new customers who bet just $5 will get $150 in bonus bets instantly when you use code JMBaseball. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers use code JMBaseball. Bet just $5 on any wager. Get $150 in bonus bets instantly. That's code JMBaseball only at DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Trev?
My award is called France Lovely this time of year. You know my connection to the French people. I don't really know what it is. What is it, Jake? My last name?
I don't know if they know it, but I know you appreciate it. So whatever.
All my friends call me Les Plus.
So,
yeah. I think my name in French means it's the sound that something that enters the water makes. So there it is. There's my connection there. Poof. Interesting. I wanted to talk a little bit about Ty France going into Kaufman. He rakes, hit a homer there. Great. Eddie Julian. Got to figure it out, big guy. I had you marked.
Stop.
The swing looked better though, Jules. So I'm happy for you there. But the real guy I want to talk about is I've never been to France, by the way. Kind of need to go.
Me either. Let's book it. They got baseball over there, right?
City of Love, you, me,
Should
Jess, Olivia.
Spread baseball all over Europe. I shouldn't have said spread. I know I lost you for a second. Spread.
My guy, Kyron Paris. If you've been, watching baseball at all this year, you've definitely seen him, burst onto the scene. And it's been, definitely a maybe not a surprise because he had a great spring training. But the Angels, as we've mentioned, have won 4 series in a row to start the year, and they wouldn't be there without this guy. And, you could chalk it up to a great start. Most of the time, we probably would say that. And it's a long baseball season. Keep it up, kid. And sure, there's aspects of that as well. Like the league will figure you out. But I think lucky for Kyron and lucky for the Angels, there's a reason for the fast start. And when there's reasons for the fast start, I tend to give them a little bit more credence. Kyron was a top prospect who hadn't done a lot. Jake, last year, he hit .091 in AA. He hit .209 in AAA. Then he came to the big leagues and hit .118.
Right.
He was 23 years old. He's kind of plays all over the diamond. Hadn't really done anything to establish himself to make a roster, to establish himself, as a big leaguer. So he decided to change it. And what did he do? He went to one of the most controversial hitting coaches in all of baseball, Teacher Man, out there in St. Louis. People would know him as Aaron Judge's hitting coach. And if you've ever spent any time online, he's ready to fight. This guy is, whether it's against my guy, Jay Gibbons, or anybody, Chipper Jones, like he's fighting with every single old hitter on the internet because he believes his way is the way. And he thinks that he teaches the things that the great players do. And what he teaches essentially is he calls it a snap, and he wants you to launch from your back foot. So front leg goes in the air, and then you're going to give it here, a little snap back, get your barrel started behind you so you have it a bunch of time in the zone. And because you're launching from your back leg before your front leg hits, it gives you more time. We just talked about like the ability to see the ball a little bit longer. So Kyron goes out to him, Jake. He went out there for 3 days, and I think I got this right. I searched, like, how long was he there? He went there for 3 days. He went twice a day and picked up a completely new swing. And, Rob, I'd love, while I'm doing this, if you get some Kyron Paris video up so I can kind of show. If you've seen Aaron Judge hit, then you've seen Kyron Paris's mechanics because they are identical right now, and that's someone that you definitely want to emulate. So now, I don't know who this award is more for, Kyron Paris or for our guy Teacher Man, because for a long time it's been, who else have you brought into the big leagues? Aaron Judge likes you. That's great. But, what about Scotty Kingery who went there? He never established himself. But right now, if you're looking at the guys who have gone there and have been really successful, it's Aaron Judge. It's Jesus was a Carpenter, Kerry Carpenter out there in Detroit. And now Kyron Paris has bursted onto the scene. So my takeaway on all this is, look, there isn't one way to do it. And our guy, Vinny Pascantino, really set this up and said it beautifully. He goes, swinging is a science, hitting is an art. So there's a bunch of ways to get the job done. But he's surely helped Kyron, who's off to an incredible start this year. You'll see right here, watch him get up early, fire off that back leg, and the power to center and right center you can get from doing this is incredible. Watch him up, fire, go. Looks eerily similar to Aaron Judge. And again, this all happened with 3 days, twice a days, and he's completely changed his big league career. I'm a little sentimental to it because I had a run like this that established me in the big leagues, and he's doing it right now. I know the feeling. The feeling of showing up to the ballpark and saying, damn, like I'm an actual big leaguer is awesome. And he's going through that right now. Paris is lovely this time of year. If you're talking about the city or you're talking about the swing of our guy Kyron. And that's my award.
From one Frenchman to another. Beautiful stuff.
Never been.
Yeah, you mentioned, I think prospect people have seen the name Kyron Paris before. But yeah, some of those minor league numbers, I mean, that gets into a scary area, man. That's when you go to prospect to not. And yeah, I hope the Teacher Man, for those that know, he's a little bit of a personality. He mixes it up on the internet. Him and the Yankees have a really weird relationship because, their best hitter uses him, but the Yankees don't let
Richard Schenk is his name. Yes. Goes by Teacher Man on socials.
And yeah, I know the hitting of baseball is a fascinating and hardest thing to do in sports. That I hope Kyron's real. And hey, man, it would be really cool. The post-hype Ron Washington Angels. Remember the whole thing with Ron Washington was like, look at all these young infielders he molded, all the Braves, Dansby to Ozzie to Austin. Like he had his fingerprints all over that maybe these young guys, Neto, Paris, like we could be looking at a young Angels core that they haven't earned a lot of respect up until this point, and hopefully that changes this year, next year, any year for Angels fans.
100%. We're talking about Ohapi, Neto, and Kyron together. I mean, that's what you need.
Shanuel.
Shanuel.
Oh, thank you. Mike Trout being back. That helps.
Yeah.
Trev, my final award, most prestigious award of the show. I'm giving out the Two Dragons Award. It's one of my favorite bad scenes from a good bad movie. It's Starsky and Hutch, the remake there. Owen Wilson, Ben Stiller, Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell is playing a guy in jail that they're trying to get info out of. And the scene gets a little weird. If you know, you know. If you don't, you know. If you're looking to lose some time this weekend, it's it gets a little zany, a little not PG. Man, Trev, I guess I should have teased you a little bit earlier, old school style. I want to talk about Marcel the Big Bear again. Because I've talked about him a lot and how DHing is a skill and you should believe in that. I had some Braves fan reach out that, we were kind of giving Marcel the lazy DH. Like, yeah, I'll go out there, hit 4 times, take a nap in the dugout. A couple Braves fans reached out and said, when Marcel's not hitting, he's with the hitting coach, like the whole game. So he's in it. And we just talked about hitting and the whole process. That Marcell Ozuna home run, you marked it down. I wasn't willing to. I hope we can mark it down. I need to see the Braves show me the 3-9 Atlanta Braves. Marcell Ozuna saves the Braves, rain delay game, wins the series, and I plug Bobby in. The secret? We might have had 2 Marcell Ozunas. There's a fan in the stands, a doppelganger of sorts. Trev, after the rain delay, he gets a foul pop-up. Big Bear numero deuce. He gets one in the stands. It's a good, bad doppelganger. It's like you can't believe, like the Klay Thompson's a step closer than that. And look, he gives it away to a kid. And then what do you see in the 11th inning? The OG, the real Bear. 2 Bears. Ozuna walks him up. Trev, I can't mark it down yet. I want to mark it down. But the power of 2 Ozunas, that might be too much to stop.
Coach, you've watched enough ball to understand when you have a guy like that saying through a rain delay, and they get a walk-off homer by the guy that he's dressed up as, you have to stamp it.
I'm
ready to stamp it.
no
idea where you were going with that award. I almost mentioned that guy during the run through. But I'm happy I didn't because you got to nail it there, Coach. Yeah, I don't know how you can't stamp this one. Like it's so blatantly obvious to me. It was like last year when we're like, hey, the Astros are going to be fine. Like everyone knew collectively, we all knew that the Astros were going to come back and win the division, and then like 2 weeks later they were in first place. So
I guess
this to me is a no-brainer.
Sean Murphy back playing with glasses. Just found he's got astigmatism.
I always hoped like I would be one of those guys. Like, let me look. I actually got my eyes checked in AA when I was struggling, and they're like, your eyes are fine. I'm like, fuck.
Damn. I had myself as a sleep apnea guy that they were gonna fix that, and then one day I'd just be running faster. Never happened. Braves, a little bit of a roadie coming up at Tampa. So okay, that's outdoor. The bats might work there. That'd be good. Then they go at Toronto. Then they're home against the Minnesota Twins. So let me check in there where our Braves are at. I hope it's something they can stamp. 2 Dragons, 2 Bears was too much. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys. It was good to be back yucking ball with you. Again, interact with everything. Bobby Vlog's been working hard on the vlog that comes out Sunday. Please go check that out.
Jake sucks.
We'll be back Monday. Doing it.
You suck. You suck.
Hard.
You look like a youth basketball coach right now.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Like a little too fired up. Like, hey, coach.
Right.
These are 9-year-olds.
Yeah. Damn. I was hoping.
Set the pick.
Fist. Horns.